Have you ever asked yourself, what do I need to do to buy a house? Watch this video and I'll tell you. I'm Mac McCord with REMAX Realty Center, and on this channel, I show young professionals and growing families everything they need to know about buying a house in the Germantown, Maryland area. The topic of the day, 5 things you need to know to buy a house. These 5 things, they revolve around lending because, let's be honest, if you can't pay, you can't buy a house. So the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you have a steady income. The bank is going to have a very hard time lending you money if you don't have steady income. I know that steady income is different for everybody because if you are a W-2 employee and you're salaried or whatever the case may be, you know how much you're getting paid on a weekly or bi-weekly, whatever the pay period or pay schedule is at your job. But if you are a solopreneur, if you are a 1099 employee, that could be a little bit of a challenge to technically show steady income. But we'll kind of get to that later on in the video here with the 1099 employees. The second thing that you need to do is get your debt under control. Based on what your debt and your income are, it may be a little difficult to get a loan if that debt is very high. So if you have credit cards, student loans, car payments, whatever the case may be, seek a professional to get a handle on your debt and your credit, because they are going to pull your credit score and see what you have open and what your history looks like. Now, if you have zero credit, so you have zero credit in the past, they don't like that either. They want to make sure that they're lending money to someone who has a history of being financially responsible. So if you have no credit, let's get on top of that right now. Number 3, have money for a down payment. I know people always talk about how much you putting down payment. That's a large sum of money in most cases. So making sure that we have that in the bank is extremely critical when you're looking to buy a house. But the one thing that's forgotten about on a regular basis seems to be closing costs. So you're going to have closing costs to pay at the end of the transaction as well. So make sure you have enough money in your bank account for that. So just before you go to the closing table, usually it's within 3 days, you need to receive a closing disclosure, which pretty much gives you to the penny accounting of what you will be paying at closing. So you will know that number in advance, and between your agent and your lender, you should be able to get an estimate up front to give you a ballpark of what closing costs may be when you get to that point. Number 4, organize your finances. This is where you need to kind of play accountant, bookkeeper. You need to get all your stuff in order, because when you're looking to buy a house and you're looking to get financing, they're going to ask for some financial records. A lot of times they want to see pay stubs from the last couple months, and sometimes they want to see bank statements from the last couple months as well. So just having all that stuff organized so that when asked, you can present it, that is going to help you. A lot of times with online banking and the wonderful world of technology that we live in now, it's usually as simple as go to the banking website and hit print. Speaking of organizing your finances, if you are a 1099 employee, just remember that they want to see what you make, so be prepared to show your last 2 years of tax returns as well. They're going to look at this to certify how much money you make on a regular basis and to see if that warrants them lending you money. Because once again, it comes back to, can you pay? And if they deem it that you are fit to pay, then they will lend you money. If they say, no way, Jose, then we have to come up with a creative solution. And number 5, last but not least, stick with your job. Even if you don't like it, you got to stick through it for this time period. I know people, go out and you want to be happy, you want to do all the joyous things in life, but you also want to buy a house. And the lender wants to see that you have consistency. All right, there's that word again, consistency. They want to see that you can pay on a consistent basis and you're not going to go all flighty and flake on them. Typically what they're looking for is 2 years in the same job. I get it. Sometimes things happen. If you've been in the same industry, but at a different location, a different company, a different employer in the last couple years, that's fine as well. Just make sure you have documentation. You know, if you're about to start a letter, an offer letter is something that you're probably going to have to provide. So just have all that stuff organized and be ready to present that to your lender. Lenders like stability, so that's what they're looking for when they're looking at your job history. If they see you bounce around a lot, that might be a red flag for the lender. If you found this video helpful, you should click on the link for 10 ways to come up with down payment money. See you on the next video.